Eric, your thoughts on just the emerging chemistry, those five together now for a second consecutive night? Your thoughts on how they're looking
Yeah,
together?
I like it, but who cares what the head coach thinks? They like it. They're comfortable. They're gaining confidence. And the most important thing is they're intentional about the work and the process of putting this together to start the season. And then we'll see what happens once we get into it, and we'll have to figure things out. But I love the intent so far.
I know it's just one preseason game, but how much was tonight kind of a representation of Bam's continuous evolution? Just 5 shots in the paint, the 3 threes, the 9 free throws, just kind of showing off
Yeah.
the whole offensive arc.
Yeah, it was all of it. The facilitating, being able to draw fouls, that's so key. Finding those in the gap plays, or cutting behind the defense, or just going into an open space. Those are big plays. They're momentum shifting plays. Playing off the ball a little bit, setting screens for us, and then spacing the floor. That's what probably the only thing people notice. I'm seeing all the other parts of his game continue to grow, and that's needed. For our team.
I don't know if you can emphasize something that was never de-emphasized, but after the steal percentage, turnover percentage that you were forcing last year slipped a little bit numerically. What have you maybe focused on in training camp and preseason?
Yeah, to be who we're supposed to be more consistently. That's really the bottom line. Committing to it from day one. It's tough. This league is a challenge, to defend. All the skill, the aggressiveness, the spacing, the creativity, that each team is playing with right now. You can't do it unless you commit wholeheartedly to multiple efforts, the conditioning that you need to be able to defend at a high level, the elite communication, to be able to be on a string always, because you can have the best schemes. You're going to get broken down. At some point, you just have to make plays. There has to be an intuitive feel. And the only way, I believe you get that is by drilling it, working it, communicating it, talking about it, struggling through it, and just committing to that process. When you commit to it and realize, hey, you have to do tough things, it actually can be fun.
Looking at what Jimmy's energy and kind of the emphasis after all that stuff transpired, is that just kind of a good
Yes.
start, even if it is the preseason?
Yeah. It's been great. In training camp, he's like that. You put a score on anything, he's going to go after it. And, we're the Heat, so we like all these kind of emotions, even if it's preseason.
Can you just kind of talk about what Jaime brings to that second unit? It seems like he got to the line a lot and kind of found his spots a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of skill and shooting, with that unit, and Drew can get the group organized. Duncan obviously creates a lot of different havoc on his own just by running around. K-Love gives you great spacing and savviness. They know how to manipulate the defense, but ultimately and AB was really good. He's just a really high IQ player. I knew he was a bucket getter, but he's a smart, intelligent player. He knows how to fit in and let a unit work. But you also need the ball to have a place to go to, when you get stuck. And that's what happened, a few times tonight. And that's part of Jaime's, talent, is he can create something out of nothing. And everybody can run around and do what we need them to do. And then all of a sudden you need the ball to go somewhere. You feel that he can create something aggressive going into the paint. And he's been intentional and diligent about working on, making plays as well. Because teams are scheming him a little bit more if he catches it in that mid post.
You've talked a lot about what Terry could bring defensively for you guys since making the trade in January. What do you think he's given you on that end of the floor in the preseason so far?
He's committed to it. He understands how important it is to our defense for us to be disruptive and to do the things with the activity level. If you don't have a point of attack, aggressive defender, you can still do it. It becomes a little bit more complex. He's committed to that. This is also not a reinvention. It's kind of just remembering. You know, this is the kind of player he was at Louisville. This is the player he was with Boston. And at times, there's different schemes in Charlotte, but this is, you know, him committing to it where he knows that he can expend a lot more energy there, knowing that we have a lot of weapons offensively, you know, on the other end. But the speed and quickness that he's bringing on both ends of the court, that changes our complexion.
Duncan obviously had a great start to last season, all the way pretty much 2/3 of the season until the injury came up. He looks like he looked early last year.
Oh, he's fully healthy. He's ready. He's ready.
And that's what I was like. Did
Yeah.
you have any concern at the time that he would get back to this point?
When you have a super long off season, all of this stuff worked itself out. Anybody that was injured had like 2 months to rest and then start a very detailed program to get back, you know, to health and do all the conditioning, the strength work and all that stuff. He didn't skip any steps with that. And if he didn't get hurt, you know, he would have looked much like he did now in the beginning of the season. He's that confident, and his game has grown with his skill set that much. Okay, thank you.